Welcome back to our channel LC Coins World History. As you knew that old is gold, but these rare $quarter coins that are most valuable that you think, don't spend one of them. You're lucky if you have one of these, so please watch complete video and find your treasure. Let's start this top one. Today we have something where we explore the fascinating history, design, and value of coins from around the world. Today, we take a deep dive into the 1970 for Washington quarter dollar, a coin that is both historically significant and widely collected. Over the next 2 hours, we will discuss the origins of the Washington quarter, the specific details of the 1974 issue, its minting process, varieties, errors, and what makes some of these coins more valuable than others. Whether you are a seasoned collector or new to the world of numismatics, this video will provide an in-depth look at one of America's most iconic coins. The Washington quarter was first introduced in 1932 to commemorate the 200th birthday of George Washington. Prior to this, the United States Mint had planned to release a commemorative $50, but the decision was made to replace the standing Liberty quarter instead. The Treasury Department held a design competition, and the winning design was created by John Flanagan, featuring a portrait of Washington on the obverse. Originally minted in 90% silver and 10% copper, the Washington quarter maintained this composition until 1965, when rising silver prices led to a major shift in U.S. coinage. Starting that year, all circulating 1974 Washington quarters were made of a copper-nickel clad composition, consisting of a pure copper core and a copper-nickel outer layer. The 1969 Washington quarter is part of this clad coinage era, making it different from earlier silver issues. The design of the 1970 for Washington quarter. The 1970 for Washington quarter retained the classic design by John Flanagan, which had been in use since 1932. The obverse features a left-facing bust of George Washington. The word Liberty is inscribed at the top of the coin. The national motto, "In God We Trust," is placed to the left of Washington's portrait. The date 1974 is located at the bottom of the coin. If a mint mark is present, it appears below the bow in Washington's hair and above the year. The reverse features an American bald eagle with outstretched wings, holding a bundle of arrows in its talons. Below the eagle, 2 olive branches form a semicircle. The inscription "United States of America" curves along the top edge of the coin. The phrase "E pluribus unum" is placed just above the eagle's head. The denomination quarter dollar is written at the bottom of the coin. Copper-nickel clad outer layer of 75% copper, 25% nickel, core of pure copper, weight 5.67 grams, diameter 24.26 millimeters. Here, and we're going to uncover the secrets behind their value. The 1970s were a fascinating time for coinage with some interesting quirks. The absence of a mint mark on coins from this era can be attributed to the Philadelphia Mint, where coins were produced without the mint mark during certain years. Now let's talk about the factors that influence the value of our 1969 quarter dollar without a mint mark. Condition, rarity, and demand. These factors play a crucial role. A well-preserved coin in mint condition will naturally fetch a higher value. Rarity is key, and of course, if there's a arrow-wing demand among collectors, the value can soar. To gain further insights, I spoke with a coin expert. Let's hear what they have to say. The 1969 quarter dollar without a mint mark is indeed a sought-after piece among collectors. Its scarcity and historical significance contribute to its allure. Condition is paramount, so if you have one in excellent shape, you're in luck. Value of a 1969 without a mint mark can range from $995,000 to $100, $500, depending on the factors we discussed earlier. Keep in mind that prices may fluctuate, so it's always a good idea to check with reputable coin dealers. or online resources for the latest updates. Next up we have let's talk about the 1969 quarter dollar. The mint mark indicates that these coins were minted at the Denver Mint. Now, why is this specific year and mint mark so intriguing? Well, there are a few factors that contribute to its value. 1969 marked a transitional period in U.S. coinage. The country was moving away from silver-based coins, and the 1969 quarter is one of the first clad coins composed of copper nickel over a pure copper core. Understanding this historical context adds an extra layer of significance to these coins. Next, let's talk about mintage numbers. Mintage plays a crucial role in determining a coin's rarity and potential value. While the 1969 quarter isn't considered ultra-rare, the limited mintage of coins from this period can contribute to their desirability among collectors. As with any coin, the condition is a key factor in determining its value. Coins in where we delve deep into the world of numismatics and the fascinating history behind coins from all over the world. In this video, we will focus on the 1980 Washington quarter dollar, a significant coin in U.S. history that has an interesting backstory and unique features. Over the next 2 hours, we will explore the details of this coin, from its historical context to the minting process, its design, varieties, errors, and what makes it desirable for collectors. Whether you are an avid coin collector or just curious about U.S. coins, this video will offer a comprehensive look at the 1980 Washington quarter and its place in the history of American coinage. The Washington quarter has a long and storied history. First introduced in 1932 to commemorate the 200th birthday of George Washington, the coin's design was selected through a competition held by the U.S. Treasury, and it was the first coin to feature a portrait of the nation's first president. The 1980 Washington quarter is part of the broader series that began in 1932 and continues today. However, by 1980, the coin had undergone several changes in composition and design, reflecting the evolving state of U.S. currency and the nation itself. In 1980, the Washington quarter was minted with a copper-nickel clad composition. This composition had been used since 1965, when the U.S. government transitioned away from using silver in circulating coinage due to the rising cost of silver. The coin's weight and diameter remained the same as earlier issues, but its composition was altered to include a copper core with a nickel outer layer, making it more durable and less costly to produce. The 1980 Washington quarter, like other quarters of this period, was struck with this new clad composition, marking a shift away from traditional silver coinage that had been used prior to 1965. The design of the 1980 Washington quarter remained consistent with the design first introduced in 1930 by John Flanagan. The obverse of the coin features a portrait of George Washington facing left, with the inscription Liberty above and the year of minting, 1980, below. The reverse of the coin depicts an eagle in flight, clutching arrows and an olive branch, symbolizing the nation's readiness to defend itself while also seeking peace. The words United States of America and E pluribus unum appear along the top and bottom of the reverse, with quarter dollar inscribed along the bottom. This design, which features a powerful eagle, reflects the strength and unity of the United States. One important thing to note about the 1980 Washington quarter is the mint marks that indicate where the coin was produced. Quarters from 1980 were minted at 3 different U.S. mint facilities: the Philadelphia Mint, the Denver Mint, and the San Francisco Mint. Coins struck at the Philadelphia Mint typically do not have a mint mark, while coins from the Denver Mint are valuable. 1970 to D. Roosevelt dimes to look for. Learn how to spot rare error dimes that could be worth big money. If you're into coin collecting, numismatics, or rare US coins, this video is a must-watch. Welcome back to LC Coins World. Today, we're diving into 1970 to D. Roosevelt dimes and the unique errors that make them valuable. From double die errors to off-center strikes, we'll cover the key details to help you identify dimes that could be worth much more than face value. Want to know how to sell your coins? Just search Sell Coins LC Coins World here on YouTube for expert tips. Also, check out our recent video on coin grading and authentication to understand the process of getting your coins officially evaluated. The Roosevelt dime was first introduced in 1946 to honor Franklin D. Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States. Roosevelt played a crucial role in leading the country through the Great Depression and World War II. He was also instrumental in the founding of the March of Dimes, a campaign dedicated to fighting polio, the disease that afflicted him. To honor his legacy, the U.S. Mint decided to replace the Mercury dime with a new design featuring Roosevelt. The Roosevelt dime was designed by John R. Sinek, the chief engraver of the U.S. Mint. The obverse features a left-facing portrait of Roosevelt, while the reverse showcases a torch, an olive branch, and an oak branch, symbolizing liberty, peace, and strength. This design has remained largely unchanged since its introduction. By 1970 the Roosevelt dime had already been in circulation for over 25 years. However, there was a significant change in composition that affected its numismatic value. Before 1965, dimes were made of 90% silver and 10% copper, but due to rising silver prices, the U.S. Mint switched to a copper-nickel-clad composition in 1965. The 1972 Roosevelt dime continued this trend, making it a non-silver dime produced for circulation. Design and specifications of the 1970 Roosevelt dime. The 1970 Roosevelt dime maintained the standard design introduced in 1946. Let's examine its key features. The obverse features a left-facing portrait of Franklin D. Roosevelt. The word liberty appears to the left of his portrait. Below Roosevelt's chin is the phrase "In God We Trust." The date 1970 is located at the bottom right. The mint mark, if present, appears just above the date D for Denver, S for San Francisco, or no mint mark for Philadelphia. The reverse of the coin features a torch, an olive branch, and an oak branch. The torch represents liberty, the olive branch symbolizes peace, and the oak branch stands for strength. The Latin phrase e pluribus unum appears across the center, meaning out of many, one. The denomination one dime is inscribed at the bottom. The words United States of America surround the top edge of the coin. Coin specifications: outer layers -75% copper, 25% nickel, core to 100% copper, weight to 0.27 grams, 17.91 millimeters. Minting locations and production numbers. The 1970 Roosevelt dime was minted at 3 locations. Philadelphia Mint, no mint mark. Over 431 million coins produced. Over 345 million coins produced. Over 3.2 million proof coins struck. The proof coins from the San Francisco Mint were specially produced for collectors, featuring mirror-like fields and frosted desig. The 1970 Roosevelt dime has several notable errors and varieties that make certain coins more valuable. Some 1970 dimes were struck off-center, meaning part of the design is missing. The greater the misalignment, the more valuable the coin. Some examples show slight doubling in the inscriptions, particularly in Liberty and In God We Trust. Dimes, the bands on the torch are fully separated. This designation makes the coin much more desirable, Some dimes were struck on improperly cut plankets, resulting in a portion of the coin being missing. Some 1970 dimes exhibit die cracks or cuts, which can increase their collector value. The majority of 1970 Roosevelt dimes remain common and are worth face value in circulated condition. However, uncirculated coins, proof sets, and error varieties can be worth much more. Most 1970 dimes in circulation are worth 10 to 15 cents. Coins graded MS65 or higher can sell for $5 to $20. High-grade full bands examples can be worth $50 to $500, depending on condition. 1970 proof dimes in pristine condition can be worth $10 to $50, with deep cameo varieties fetching higher prices. Rare errors like off-center strikes, double dies, and clipped plankets can range from $20 to several $100s. The 1970 Roosevelt dime represents an important continuation of the series, following the removal of silver from dimes after 1964. While it may seem like an ordinary coin, it holds historical value as part of the long-running Roosevelt dime series. Additionally, this coin was minted during an era of economic and political change, the early 1970s, so the U.S. transitioning away from the gold standard, rising inflation, and increasing coin hoarding. Despite these challenges, the Roosevelt dime remained a staple in everyday transactions. The 1972 Roosevelt dime is an essential part of American coinage, maintaining the classic design that collectors and historians appreciate. While most examples remain common, certain varieties and high-grade specimens hold significant value. If you come across a well-preserved 1970 dime, it may be worth setting aside, especially if it has full bands or unique mint errors. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 1970 Roosevelt dime, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more numismatic content on Coin World. Stay tuned for more fascinating coin histories, and happy collecting!